Hey all, welcome to another episode of Asgard Gaming. This is Fangel here, bringing you some more Dawn of Titans. In this episode here, we're going to be taking a look at Titan categories, and this is kind of inspired by a recent event that's going on that's all about Titan damage. And right now, Dawn of Titans is running a double damage for Elithen Titans, which just kind of got me thinking, do a lot of players know, and does everyone really have an understanding of the different categories that are out there? And I just want to kind of bring that information to you, give you an opportunity to really know what types of Titans you're working with, what's in your arsenal, and how can you best capitalize on this type of either offense or defensive moves that these Titans offer. Now, we're going to be looking at their races of these Titans, not so much the classes. That'll be something totally separate. But I really want to make sure we all understand what these races are, so I have no doubt that down the road we will see more of these events coming based on the race that a Titan is. So getting an opportunity to really check this out, I just want to kind of overview what these different races are. And since this event is about Elithens, I know that starting out with Elithens is going to be, hey, maybe you tune into this after the event is over, and I'm sorry, it sucks to be you in that situation. But at least you'll have a good understanding come next time when that rolls around. And again, I'll continue rolling out these videos on these different Titan races, so you get an opportunity to maybe catch up by the time one of those events rolls around again. So let's just kind of take a look at what we've got here. Looking at these different races, just so we've kind of got a general overview, is we have 5 different categories of Titan races, starting out with humans. One thing about humans is, hey, they've got really great combat skills. They've got a nice mix of different Titan classes, which we'll talk about later. But they bring in some really good perks to the troops around them. The one thing a human Titan is missing is elemental damage. From there, we move to Unax. Unax have that just kind of destruction fierceness. They're all about the extra fire damage that they bring. Elithen damage, these more noble elf styles, some Lord of the Rings kind of shit. They bring a few more Titans that have more speed and skill with it, but they also have ice damage as that elemental bonus. Mossmane Titans are kind of these this whole deadwood tree hugger kind of shit. They're all about poison damage. And then we also have Ragnar Titans. Ragnar Titans are these kind of tanks on the battlefield. They can take blows and dish out blows pretty nicely, but they also bring earth damage to it. So looking at each one of these kind of categories, you're just looking at different perks that you can get based off of your strategy in the gameplay. And sometimes partnering the right troop with the right Titan can make a big difference. Now, just because a Titan might fall into one of these classes of race for Titans doesn't mean that they always get that extra bonus of elemental damage. Or just because they're human doesn't mean they might only bring a physical damage to it. We'll kind of pull out maybe an example of that to show you that I have an Elithen Titan who actually brings a physical damage to the battlefield versus an ice damage. So just really kind of get to know your Titans, but where can you find this information? How do you know what you're working with? That is something we will be checking out. This one here, we are going to start with these Elithen Titans, getting a nice overview of what they have to offer. And to do so, we're just going to do kind of a view of what each Titan brings from rarity to their class. So before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about rarity. Every Titan has a star ranking. That star ranking kind of overviews the rarity they have of being collected. A 1-star Titan is more common to be received than a 4-star Titans. In fact, most 4-star Titans you win either by purchasing it through the temple, which when you do that 4-star chance purchase, remember it's only a chance, people. It's not a guarantee to get a 4-star. You might spend those gems and only get a 1-star, but that's one way to get them. The other way to get them, which is pretty much guaranteed if you put the legwork into it, is during events. Usually the top reward in these events, things like the Ice Soul, Iron Soul events, things like that, those top rewards are typically a 4-star Titan. So that's a way that you could guarantee it if you actually put the legwork in to get there. That it's not a guess whether or not you're going to get it in the end because you know that is the reward. So that's the rarity you're looking at with this 1, 2, 3, or 4-star. The next thing you also want to know is the class that it goes into, which classes I'll do a whole nother video on. But you do want to know a bit about this class so you know how are you kind of mixing and matching your different elemental bonuses with your different strategies of either attacking or defense. And there are 3 different classes. You've got the heavy class, which is more about melee attacks, again, that really aggressive attack, and absorbing damage. This heavy class has 3 different categories in it. There's champion, guardian, and paladin. From there, we're looking at the fast class, which is all about speed and stealth, kind of those flank attacks or swooping in from the back. This, you're looking at the berserker or the infiltrator. And then we have the ranged class, which, just as it says, it's attacking from afar. We have the Ranger Titan inside of there. So we have 6 different kind of subclasses inside 3 major classes. Heavy, fast, and range. Again, heavy has champion, guardian, paladin. Fast has berserker and infiltrator. And then ranged has the ranger. But we'll talk more about these classes in another video where we'll really highlight what are the pros and cons of using each of these different classes in offense or defense. But from here, now that you understand a little bit about these classes and the rarity, let's look at the different type of Titans we have, again in today's episode, being the Elithen race. So we're going to work through here in rarity. So I'm going to start out with 1 stars and build up to 4 stars. So looking at the Elithen 1 stars, let's start out with Cyros. Cyros is a berserker. He is a 1 star, so he's pretty common to get. Along with him, we also have Argax. Argax is a Guardian Titan, again falling in at 1 star. The next 1 star that we have is Iris, which is a Ranger Titan for the Elithens. So now you're looking at more of the distance attack there. For the 2 stars, we are looking at Nestus being an infiltrator at 2 stars and Nalos being an infiltrator at 2 stars. We also have Idana, which is a Ranger 2-star Titan. Moving on to the 3-star category, we have Coria, who is a Berserker. We've got Tyrius, who is a Champion. We also have Altus, which is a 3-star Guardian. And then from there, we move on to our 4 stars. For our 4 stars, we have Avalos, which is a Guardian 4-star. Nexus, which is an Infiltrator 4-star. We also have Krothos, which is a Berserker 4-star. And one that's kind of a little bit of an oddball fit is actually Snowgore, who is a Champion 4-star. Now, he's a little bit of an oddball because he really doesn't look like the rest. He's actually one of these tusked pig-style Titans, but that style is a little mixed in some of these different categories. So again, even though he might not necessarily look like it, he is part of the Elithen race. Let's go ahead and check out now a couple of these Titans a little bit more of a close-up. Put the spotlight on a few of these Elithens that I have just so you can get a chance to kind of see what they offer. So we'll start out with Nalos here. Nalos is one of the Infiltrator Elithen Titans. Now with him, he is a 2-star. Again, so his rarities at that kind of mid-lower rank. Right now I can get an overview. I've got him at level 15. He's doing a little over 2,500 for health, and he does about 327 for ice damage. Being a 2-star, he does have 3 skill slots as well as 3 relic slots. And I've done some fusion with him recently, so I just need to continue to work at that 3rd skill slot. Checking this out, kind of just some information I know about Nalos. When we're checking into him, again, he's an infiltrator. What does that mean? Means he absolutely sucks at defense, guys. That's the one thing to know about infiltrators. Don't put them on defense for lands or garrisons especially. A single free spell and a good strong Titan will come in and put them down in no time. Infiltrators are best on offense. They have the speed, they're good for flanking, and they're good from kind of getting around from the sides and bringing on that back attack, sweeping through your ranged troops and stuff like that. But they will need support with free spells if you are taking on a Guardian, a Paladin, or a Champion type Titan. The higher the level when you get to that 30, or you're working with 3-star Titans that can pump up to 40 or higher with the 4 stars, they will do better a little head on. But when you're working with these 2 stars, you're going to depend more on flank attack with them. Overall, he does have a little bit of higher armor and armor piercing because I do have some boosts on him. So you can see he's at 25% armor, 20% armor piercing, and 10% critical chance. Now, Nahlos was one that I did earn from a recent Ice Soul event. So I've got 2 of them that I pulled in from that event, which is kind of nice. They're a little bit, even though they're a 2-star, they are still a bit rare because they were more event rewards. Here again, I can see he does that 327 in ice damage, but he also resists physical by 16%. He's not resisting any other element from lightning to poison to ice to earth or fire, so I've got to pay attention to that when I'm putting up against different troops or different titans. And then here I can see some of the different relics he has, which each of these kind of brings a little bit of that different boost to what he has to offer on the battlefield, and we'll look at those in just a moment. And then I can also see the skills. So looking at these skills are things that kind of come with the Titans. Now, one thing to know is the same Titan does not get the same lineup of skills. You might see or have 2 or 3 Nahloses and notice that the skills are different. So pay attention when you go into Titan fusing, especially if you're fusing the same Titan together, which is a great boost strategy for it. Pay attention to which one you're going to use as fuel, which one you're going to keep as your main Titan, because their skills will offer something different. So in this one here, he's got the Brute Force, which is 30%, 36% extra physical damage, and the True Strike, which is 20% Titan armor piercing. So that is where he gets this extra boost to armor piercing at 20%. Looking at the relics that he has on there, right now I have the Frost Fist on him, which gives him a 10% boost to Titan armor, being a 3-star, but I can still level this one up. He also has the Hell Mask, which gives him that resistance against physical, so that's where he gets that 16%, otherwise he would be at 0. And then we also have the Avalanche, which I like this relic for him. Even though it's a 2-star, it's 14% additional ice damage, and it's a 12% boost to the pikemen that he is equipped with. So they get a 12% boost in ice damage as well, because even though we're not talking troops yet, pikemen are an Elithen troop, so they already have ice damage to it, so this kind of helps boost both of them, which is a nice perk. But overall, Nahlos, I mean, he definitely looks the part of that Elithen ice damage. He's got those frosty, cool blades. Being an infiltrator, he is rolling with the double swords. Very similar to another Titan that I have, Nestus, which is also a infiltrator. Being a lower rank, he's got a few different things. I haven't boosted him as much, so he doesn't have the skills unlocked, and I've only got 1 relic on him now, but I'm not using him much. I just kind of keep him around because I like to collect these ones that we get from events. So again, still that ice damage, so he's got the frosty blades, but now he's rolling in the blue tunics. Another Elithen Titan that we can highlight here, Argax here, being one of our Guardian Titans. All right, so he's rolling in, which is the single sword and shield. Now, I earned him recently just from a battle. He's a 1-star. I've had several of him, but unfortunately, Argax, you go in as fuel just being a 1-star. But one thing to notice is that Argax does not offer ice damage. He actually has physical damage with him. So when we're looking at him, he's all about strength now, and he himself as a Guardian is doing physical damage versus ice. His resistance still is not much, and I really don't have any relics on him because, again, I just got him from a battle, and he will be just used as fuel since he's a 1-star. Another one that we've got, just to kind of highlight a different class of this race of Elithen, is Cyros. Now, Cyros, I'll go ahead and pull him off one of my lands for you to see. Let's go ahead and bring him in. He is a Berserker. So, again, as this Berserker, he is coming in with this kind of double battle axe. And with it, also bringing physical damage. All right, let's see. We'll have to check that out, knock out in just a little bit. But with him, he is bringing armor at 15%. He has no armor piercing and a 10% critical chance. So things that I can look at here, it'd be great for him to continue to get relics that boost his armor. Maybe even increase a chance at armor piercing. Also would be great to boost his critical chance. So thinking strategically there, he's all about speed. So again, perfect for flanking. Damage, again, 334 in physical, but he's not doing the ice damage. So even though he's Elithen, it's not guaranteed to be ice damage. He also has an avalanche, so he's got some of that, and his snow boots help him out with some charging or flanking, I believe. Oh, no, sorry. Actually, snow boots are all about health. So there's an extra 12% boost to health. I've got him up on defense, so looking at his skills, he is 24% boost to pikemen, so I know that I have him on a land with several pikemen, and the pikemen also get a 48% boost in ice damage. So with those two, I would put him on defense because he's a berserker, even though he's not great initially for defense just as that class of Titan. What he offers pikemen for defense is great. 25% almost boost for the pikemen and 48, almost 50% in ice damage. So I'm putting him on defense strictly to boost the pikemen that he's assigned with. So again, looking at that, these fast class Titans, berserkers, infiltrators, they don't offer a lot for defense, but sometimes these skills can help salvage why you might put them there. That's just kind of one thing to kind of take a look at. Again, these guys are pretty cool when looking at it. Overall, Elithens are really cool for this ice damage that they can do. It's great against various types of troops and Titans. So get to know your Elithen, get to know what's in your arsenal, and really kind of pay attention to what your class, and B, your race of Titan is going to be. Again, know those different boosts that they each offer and know what kind of fighting style or defensive style they have. So that's all for this episode. Something quick on this Elithen race. Stay tuned for another one. We will be looking at these other races down the line and then eventually into that troop, then how they roll into these classes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe. And if you're looking for a good alliance to get into, be sure to check out Asgard. Again, if you're looking for us here, the Asgard and I both use the Greek A's in there, so you can come in and search for our alliance using your Greek keyboard here, and that little capital A symbol will help you get to Asgard and Fandral. So stay tuned for more. Keep playing, keep raiding. See you later, guys.